Hello everyone, Dr. Alan Mandell here. Welcome back to my channel, Science of Healing. You lie down in bed after a long day. Your body is tired, but your mind refuses to turn off. Minutes turn into hours. You toss, you turn, you check the clock again and again, and the more you try to force sleep, the further it slips away. But what if something as simple as 1 tablespoon before bed could help your body fall asleep faster, naturally? Tonight, I want to show you a powerful yet incredibly simple bedtime trick backed by real science. A small spoonful of a natural food that may help calm your brain, stabilize your blood sugar through the night, and support the hormones responsible for deep, restorative sleep. And the best part, it takes less than 10 seconds to use. The secret food is raw honey, just 1 tablespoon before bed. Tonight, millions of people will lie in bed completely exhausted, yet unable to sleep. The lights are off, the room is quiet, but inside the body, something is happening that most people never realize. The brain is searching for fuel, and when that fuel runs too low during the night, the body reacts in a way that can shatter sleep without warning. It's one of the most overlooked reasons people wake up at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., or even 4 a.m., staring at the ceiling, wondering why their body refuses to stay asleep. And the shocking truth is that in many cases, the problem is not the mattress, not stress, and not even insomnia itself. The problem may be hidden deep inside your metabolism, your blood sugar. While you sleep, your brain continues to work tirelessly. It controls breathing, heart rate, temperature regulation, memory consolidation, and hundreds of other essential functions. But this incredible organ has one critical requirement: a steady supply of energy. The brain relies almost entirely on glucose as its primary fuel source. Now imagine what happens when that fuel supply suddenly drops during the night. When blood sugar levels fall too low, the body enters emergency mode. The brain senses the drop and sends an urgent signal to the adrenal glands. Within seconds, the body releases powerful stress hormones such as adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones exist for survival. They are designed to wake you up instantly, raise blood sugar, and prepare the body to respond to danger. But when this happens at 3 in the morning, the result is the same feeling millions of people know all too well. Your eyes suddenly open, your heart may feel slightly faster, your mind begins to race, and just like that, your deep sleep is gone. Research in sleep medicine has shown that nighttime drops in blood glucose can activate the sympathetic nervous system, triggering these stress hormones that interrupt sleep cycles. Instead of staying in deep restorative sleep, the body is pushed into a state of alertness. And here's the disturbing part. Many people believe their sleep problem is psychological, when in reality it may be metabolic. Now imagine if there were a simple way to help stabilize that nighttime fuel supply. This is where one of nature's oldest foods comes into the picture: raw honey. For thousands of years, honey has been valued not just as food, but as medicine. Ancient civilizations from Egypt to Greece used honey for healing, energy, and vitality. But modern science is beginning to reveal something fascinating about how honey interacts with the body during sleep. When you consume a small amount of honey before bed, about 1 tablespoon, it provides a gentle source of natural sugars, primarily glucose and fructose. These sugars are absorbed slowly and help replenish the liver's glycogen stores. The liver plays a crucial role in regulating blood sugar while you sleep. During the night when you are not eating, the liver releases stored glycogen into the bloodstream to keep glucose levels stable for the brain. But if liver glycogen becomes depleted too early in the night, blood sugar can crash. And when that crash happens, the body sends out those stress hormones that wake you up. This is why some sleep researchers believe a small amount of natural carbohydrate before bed can support stable nighttime metabolism. And honey appears to work particularly well for this purpose. Unlike refined sugar, honey contains a balanced combination of glucose and fructose. The glucose provides immediate energy, while the fructose helps the liver slowly rebuild glycogen stores. This dual action effect may provide a steady release of fuel throughout the night. In simple terms, honey helps keep the brain fed while you sleep. And when the brain has stable energy, it has no reason to trigger the alarm system. Instead of releasing cortisol and adrenaline, the body remains calm. The nervous system stays relaxed, and sleep continues uninterrupted. One of the most fascinating aspects of sleep science is that deep sleep is not just about rest. It is a period of intense biological repair. During deep sleep, the brain clears waste products through the glymphatic system. Hormones responsible for tissue repair are released. Memory is consolidated. The immune system strengthens. But when sleep is repeatedly interrupted, these restorative processes suffer. Chronic sleep disruption has been linked to increased inflammation, metabolic disorders, weakened immunity, and even cognitive decline. That means a simple habit that helps maintain continuous sleep could have powerful long-term effects on health. And that brings us back to that small, humble spoonful of honey. 1 tablespoon before bed may provide just enough metabolic support to prevent the nighttime glucose crash that triggers stress hormones. It's not a sedative. It doesn't force sleep the way sleeping pills do. Instead, it works by supporting the body's natural sleep physiology. And sometimes the simplest solutions are the most powerful. Think about it. Something that takes 5 seconds, something sitting in your kitchen, may help your body maintain calm, stable energy throughout the night. Imagine lying down, knowing your brain has the fuel it needs to stay in deep sleep. Imagine sleeping through the night without those sudden awakenings that leave you staring at the ceiling. Imagine waking up feeling clear-headed, energized, and restored. It's a reminder that sleep is not just controlled by the mind. It's deeply connected to metabolism, hormones, and the delicate balance of energy inside the body. And when we support that balance, the body often knows exactly what to do. So tonight, before you turn off the lights, try a simple experiment. Just 1 tablespoon of raw honey before bed. Give your brain the steady fuel it needs, because sometimes the difference between restless nights and deep healing sleep is just a single spoon away. Deep inside your brain, every single night, an extraordinary chemical transformation determines whether you drift peacefully into sleep or lie awake while the hours slowly pass. It is a silent biological chain reaction that controls your mood, your relaxation, and the moment your body finally surrenders to sleep. And what's astonishing is that something as simple as 1 tablespoon of natural honey may help activate that chain reaction in a way most people never realize. To understand why, we need to begin with one small but powerful molecule called tryptophan. Tryptophan is an amino acid circulating in your bloodstream, quietly waiting for the opportunity to enter the brain. But it doesn't enter easily. The brain is protected by an extremely selective barrier known as the blood-brain barrier, a biological security system that carefully controls what is allowed inside. Most people don't realize this, but the brain's ability to produce relaxation and sleep hormones depends on whether tryptophan successfully crosses that barrier. If it does, something remarkable happens. Once inside the brain, tryptophan begins converting into serotonin, one of the most important neurotransmitters in the human body. Serotonin is often called the feel-good chemical, but its role goes far beyond happiness. Serotonin helps regulate mood, emotional stability, calmness, and most importantly, the transition from wakefulness to sleep. When serotonin levels rise in the evening, the nervous system begins to slow down. The mind becomes quieter, muscles relax, the body prepares for rest, but the transformation doesn't stop there. As darkness falls and the brain senses the absence of light, serotonin undergoes another extraordinary change. It converts into melatonin, the hormone that controls the body's internal clock, also known as the circadian rhythm. Melatonin is the signal that tells your body it's time to sleep. When melatonin levels rise, body temperature drops slightly, heart rate slows, and the brain transitions into sleep mode. In a healthy system, this process happens naturally every night. But in modern life, millions of people struggle with this biological transition. Stress, artificial light, irregular eating patterns, and poor metabolic health can all interfere with the body's ability to produce serotonin and melatonin efficiently. When this happens, the brain stays alert long after it should be resting. And this is where honey may play a surprisingly important role. When you consume a small amount of honey before bed, the natural sugars inside it gently stimulate a mild release of insulin. Now, this might sound concerning to some people, but the key here is the amount. We are not talking about large quantities of sugar. We are talking about one controlled tablespoon of a natural food that humans have consumed for thousands of years. This small insulin response triggers an important metabolic shift in the bloodstream. In your blood, several amino acids compete with tryptophan for entry into the brain. They fight for access through the same transport pathways across the blood-brain barrier. When insulin rises slightly, many of those competing amino acids are absorbed into muscle tissue, and as they move out of the bloodstream, tryptophan gains a critical advantage. Suddenly, it has a clearer path into the brain. This means more tryptophan crosses the blood-brain barrier, where it can begin its transformation into serotonin. And once serotonin levels rise, the body has the raw material it needs to produce melatonin. In simple terms, that small spoonful of honey may help unlock the biochemical pathway that leads directly to sleep. Scientists have long understood this relationship between carbohydrates, insulin, and tryptophan transport. Research in nutritional neuroscience shows that modest carbohydrate intake can increase the ratio of tryptophan relative to other amino acids in the bloodstream, allowing more of it to enter the brain. And when tryptophan enters the brain, serotonin production increases. This is one reason people often feel calmer or more relaxed after consuming small amounts of carbohydrate in the evening. It's not just psychological, it's biochemical. But honey offers something unique compared to refined sugar. Raw honey contains a natural combination of glucose and fructose, along with trace minerals, enzymes, and antioxidant compounds. This balanced composition allows the body to absorb its sugars more gradually compared to many processed sweets. Instead of a sharp spike and crash, honey can provide a smoother metabolic response when used in small amounts. This makes it particularly interesting as a bedtime support food. Think about what this means for someone struggling to fall asleep. The brain needs serotonin to feel calm. It needs melatonin to initiate sleep. But both of those hormones depend on tryptophan entering the brain first. And the ability of tryptophan to enter the brain may be influenced by something as simple as the nutritional signals you send to your body before bed. Imagine lying down at night with your brain naturally increasing serotonin levels. The racing thoughts begin to slow. Your breathing becomes deeper and more rhythmic. The nervous system shifts from the alert fight or flight state into the calming rest and digest mode controlled by the parasympathetic nervous system. Then melatonin begins to rise. Your eyelids grow heavier, your body temperature dips slightly, muscles release the tension they've been holding all day. Sleep doesn't feel forced, it feels inevitable. This is the beauty of supporting the body's natural sleep chemistry rather than trying to override it. Sleeping pills often work by sedating the brain artificially, suppressing neural activity whether the body is ready for sleep or not. But supporting serotonin and melatonin production works with the body's own design. It encourages the brain to follow the rhythm it was built to follow, and sometimes that rhythm just needs a small nutritional signal to get started. That signal might be something as simple as a spoonful of honey, a tiny amount of sweetness that quietly activates a cascade of biological events: insulin signaling, tryptophan transport, serotonin production, and finally, the release of melatonin. A chain reaction happening silently inside the brain while the rest of the world grows dark. And when that chain reaction flows smoothly, the result can be one of the most powerful medicines known to human health: deep, uninterrupted sleep. The kind of sleep that restores the brain, strengthens the immune system, repairs tissues, and resets the entire nervous system for the next day, all beginning with a single biochemical doorway opening inside the brain, a doorway that leads from tryptophan to serotonin to melatonin and finally to sleep. Imagine the scene. The day has ended, the lights dim, and your body is ready to rest. But somehow, sleep eludes you. You've tried counting sheep, meditation, even that old glass of warm milk trick your grandmother swore by, yet your eyelids remain heavy, but your mind refuses to switch off. What if the secret to finally falling asleep wasn't hidden in complicated routines or expensive supplements, but right there in your kitchen? One simple, natural habit, taking 1 tablespoon of raw honey about 30 minutes before bed, could change everything. This small, seemingly insignificant act may sound too simple to be true, but behind it lies a fascinating story of biology, chemistry, and centuries of human experience. Sleep isn't just a passive state, it is an active, essential process where your body undergoes repair, detoxification, and regeneration. The brain, far from shutting down, is hard at work clearing waste through the lymphatic system, consolidating memories, and recalibrating neurotransmitters. Your muscles repair, hormones balance, and your immune system strengthens. Every night you deprive yourself of deep sleep, this complex machinery is thrown off, leaving you more vulnerable to chronic inflammation, metabolic disorders, weakened immunity, and even cognitive decline. And yet, millions of people sabotage this process without even realizing it. A restless mind, a jittery body, or a late-night energy crash can all prevent these biological systems from doing their work. But here's where the story of honey becomes compelling. Honey is not just sugar. It is a living, natural substance packed with bioactive compounds, antioxidants, trace minerals, and enzymes that humans have relied on for millennia. Unlike refined sugar, which spikes blood glucose rapidly and then crashes, honey provides a gentle, controlled source of energy. When taken in the right amount, just a tablespoon, it can do something extraordinary. It gives your body the fuel it needs to maintain stable glucose levels throughout the night. Why does this matter? Because when blood sugar drops while you sleep, your body reacts by releasing stress hormones like cortisol and adrenaline. These are life-saving chemicals in dangerous situations, but at 3 in the morning, they are nothing more than sleep thieves. By stabilizing blood sugar, honey can help prevent these hormones from kicking in, keeping your body calm and relaxed. But it's not just about glucose. Honey also plays a subtle role in unlocking a cascade of biochemical events that your body relies on for sleep. Consuming honey causes a slight increase in insulin, which in turn helps the amino acid tryptophan cross the blood-brain barrier. Once inside, tryptophan converts to serotonin, the neurotransmitter responsible for relaxation, calmness, and emotional stability. Then, as darkness cues the brain, serotonin transforms into melatonin, the master hormone that regulates your circadian rhythm and tells your body it is time to sleep. This is the natural sleep chain that has been present in humans for thousands of years, and honey acts as a gentle trigger to help the process unfold smoothly. The timing is critical. Taking honey about 30 minutes before bed allows your body to process the sugars, release insulin, and transport tryptophan efficiently. Some people prefer to take it straight from the spoon. Others dissolve it in a small cup of warm herbal tea like chamomile. The warmth itself is comforting, relaxing the nervous system while the honey begins its quiet work. Importantly, the tea should not be hot enough to destroy the enzymes and bioactive compounds in raw honey. These small details matter if you want maximum effect. Consistency is key. The body's circadian rhythms, hormone release patterns, and metabolic cycles adapt best when given regular cues. Night after night, this small spoonful of honey can train your body to maintain stable glucose, allow tryptophan transport, and support serotonin and melatonin production. Over time, many people notice falling asleep faster, waking up less frequently, and experiencing deeper, more restorative sleep. Imagine lying down at night knowing your body is primed for natural, uninterrupted rest. The difference isn't subtle, it can be life-changing. There are, of course, a few precautions. The honey must be raw and unprocessed. Pasteurized or heavily refined honey loses many of the beneficial enzymes and antioxidants that contribute to its effectiveness. It's also important not to overdo it. A large spoonful of sugar can spike blood glucose and disrupt sleep instead of helping it. The power lies in the small, measured amount. The single tablespoon acts as a gentle nudge, not a forceful intervention. Pairing this habit with a supportive bedtime routine, dimming lights, avoiding bright screens, and minimizing evening stress magnifies the effect. Honey becomes not just a food, but a signal to the body that it is time to shift into rest mode. What makes this habit so remarkable is that it works with the body's natural biology rather than against it. Sleeping pills may sedate the brain artificially, often leading to grogginess or dependency. Honey, by contrast, cooperates with your natural metabolic and hormonal rhythms. It supports the liver's glycogen stores, keeps stress hormones in check, and promotes the production of serotonin and melatonin. It is subtle, natural, and remarkably effective. Sleep experts often emphasize that nighttime awakenings can be linked to minor dips in blood sugar. Honey, in this context, is not just a comfort, it's a preventive tool. A single spoonful before bed can help prevent these small fluctuations, allowing sleep cycles to remain uninterrupted. The result is a night of deep sleep, where the body can truly perform its restorative magic. Muscles rebuild, neurons consolidate memories, hormones reset, and the immune system strengthens. Night after night, this can translate to higher energy levels, improved mental clarity, and better overall health. Picture the transformation. Instead of tossing and turning, staring at the ceiling in frustration, you slip effortlessly into sleep. Your nervous system relaxes, your breathing deepens, your brain starts the intricate process of detoxification and repair. By morning, you awaken not just rested, but renewed. A simple habit, 1 tablespoon of honey, quietly orchestrating a symphony of biological processes in your favor. Sleep is the cornerstone of human health. It affects mood, weight, immunity, and even longevity. Yet so many people struggle with it unnecessarily. What if the answer was as accessible, simple, and natural as a small spoonful of honey before bed? Night after night, this small act has the potential to transform your rest, your energy, and your health in ways that feel almost miraculous, yet are fully grounded in biology. So tonight, as the day winds down, reach for that spoonful of raw honey. Take it straight or dissolve it in a warm cup of herbal tea. Give your body the gentle support it needs to stabilize blood sugar, promote serotonin and melatonin production, and prepare your mind and body for the restorative sleep you've been craving. A simple act, a natural solution. 1 tablespoon, 30 minutes before bed. Sleep well, sleep deeply, and let your body do what it was designed to do.